Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Clique, and today we're going to be looking at some of the best mouse pads you can get right now for $25 or less. Sure, there's a ton of mouse pads on the market and you can spend upwards of $50 getting some really amazing quality stuff. But if you want something that's good, that's not going to break the bank, then you came to the right video. There will be links to all the mouse pads in this video in the description down below if you'd like to purchase any of them. And as of the time that this video goes live, they're all $25 or less. Quick disclaimer, the prices of these mouse pads are subject to change, especially considering how crazy the market is these days. Also, I have either extensively used or reviewed every mouse pad that is on this list. Regardless, I still do my research in each one of these pads and read or watch reviews to help you guys find the best deals and the advantages and disadvantages of each mouse pad. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Starting off our list, we have the Odin Zero Gravity. This is Odin Gaming's first mouse pad, and it honestly caught me by surprise because it quickly became one of my favorites for a control mouse pad that you can get under $25. It comes in a variety of different sizes at different price points, but you can get the XL Extended Edition, which is 24 by 14 inches or 600 by 355 millimeters, which will give you plenty of space not only for your mouse but also your keyboard too. I wouldn't call it a desk pad at that size, but if you want to upgrade to a larger size, you can definitely get there with either the XXL or even the XXL. What makes this mousepad so good for me is the fact that it is a cloth surface mousepad, and it gives you a great smooth surface that glides well with every mouse that I've tried it with, and it doesn't use any coatings or weird material that's going to wear down at a fast rate. It also has quality stitched edges. I didn't experience any arm irritation from using this pad, and the stitching is fairly consistent throughout the perimeter. And since the Zero Gravity is 4mm thick, you get plenty of cushion to sink your hand into the mouse pad if you need to slow down to hit a flick. The Zero Gravity, even 6 months later, is still one of my top recommendations for a control pad under $25. Second on the list, we have the Matrix mouse pads. These come in at $25 for their double XL size, which is 35 by 17 inches, which is pretty insane for the price. These come with stitched edges that's going to help with long-term wear and tear, and the bottom of the mouse pad does have a non-slip rubber base that from my experience was great for helping to prevent any sliding on your desk. The surface is like a slightly slower Odin Zero Gravity, and it's not as thick, coming in at only 3mm as opposed to 4 on the Zero Gravity. To be completely honest, the Zero Gravity is a better version of this mouse pad in my opinion, but the Matrix pads do come in a much larger size for the same price, so you get more pad for your dollar. But if you're already invested in the Matrix ecosystem, like maybe you're already using their keyboard or keycaps, that would match perfectly with their mouse pads, then that's something you should consider. Also, that's in no way saying that these pads aren't good, because they are really good, and in fact, if you prefer a bit of a slower surface, then these could be better suited for you. Again, this is a non-coated cloth surface, and the durability and longevity of the Matrix pads has really impressed me. It's similar to, but not exactly like, the standard Glorious cloth mouse pads or the Cooler Master MP750, so if you tried out any standard cloth mousepad, you should feel right at home here. Third on our list, we have the Gamesense Radar. This is a mousepad that caught me by surprise because this pad came from a new company, Gamesense, and it quickly became one of my favorites for a few reasons. First, it has stitched edging, but it's only slightly raised from the pad. I didn't experience any arm irritation, and the stitching is pretty consistent with some minor fraying on a couple of the edges. Second, the actual cloth material they use is soft on your wrist and forearm, and it felt comfortable if you're resting your forearms on your desk. Third, it is marketed as a control pad, and that really does hold true. While this pad feels smooth, it isn't fast at all. It has a consistent slow glide, but you can tell there is a high static friction between the mouse and the pad you're using, so if you're looking for something a bit slower, then the Radar is a great option. Also, it is a non-coated surface, so I expect that it would hold up well over time, but it's remained consistent over the time that I've used it, but I'll be sure to post an update if anything does come up. Now, the one thing that is very crucial to know is that the Radar comes in two sizes, an XL size and a double XL size, and both are 3mm thick. You can get this pad for $24 in the XL size if you use a 20% discount code, and I reached out to Gamesense to receive one for you guys, so if you'd like to get your hands on the Radar, then you can do so using code CLIQUE for 20% off at checkout, and it'll bring the total price down to $24. If you do end up using my code, please let me know down below in the comment section because it would be greatly appreciated. Moving on to the fourth spot on our list, we have the KeyDoc company mouse pads. These definitely aren't your traditional gaming mouse pads, but if you're looking for that dope aesthetic, you know, that crazy last piece that's going to tie your setup together, then this is worth checking out. Personally, my top 2 favorite mousepad designs come from here, and I always get a ton of questions asking about where they're from whenever I show them off in videos. The 2 I get asked about the most are the Alex Loto Switch Swirl and the Boba Tea series desk mats, and while those ones are at the $30 price point, they also have a ton of other mousepads with amazing designs at the $25 and even the $20 price point. Most of their pads are 3mm thick and come in one size, which is 900 by 400mm. From a functionality standpoint, they are on the slower side, but are definitely a solid option despite the fact that some people might try to count them out just because of the aesthetics. I've personally put in maybe 40 plus hours on each new mousepad that I've gotten from them, and they're still all holding up great. I honestly can't recommend them enough, especially if you're looking for a desk mat to match the look of your setup or custom keyboard. Last on our list, we have the Fnatic Dash. You can get this pad in medium, which is 360 by 280mm for $25. While this is the smallest pad on this list for the price, it still packs a punch. You get probably the best stitching out of any pad on this list. It's a tight weave, very consistent, and it looks and feels great. No armor rotation or anything like that. It's also the fastest surface on this list, and while they do claim that this pad has both speed and control, it's definitely more on the speed side. The surface is similar to the X-Ray pad Equate Plus, except it's slightly faster with arguably better stitching. The only branding is their silver logo that sits in the bottom right corner. The Dash does feature a rubber base, and the X and Y speed is the same regardless of the force you exert on the pad. Looking at our honorable mentions, we have the glorious XL extended mouse pad that comes in at 14 by 24 inches with 3mm of thickness. Another cloth surface similar to the QCK, but a bit faster. Nothing really special or stand out about this mousepad, and that's part of the reason why I decided to include it into this section. And if you've tried out other cloth mousepads before, you can easily make this your main, and it shouldn't take long to get used to. And last for our honorable mentions, we have the SteelSeries QCK. I'm not going to go too into depth on this one because chances are you already know or probably have even tried this mousepad out before. Personally, it was my first real gaming mousepad, and it's also one of the best selling mousepads of all time. I just wanted to include it on this list because from a value standpoint, it's still a really good deal. And of course, it comes in a ton of different sizes, with or without RGB, a stitched edge variant, a 4mm heavy option, and you just get a ton of options to choose from on one of the most tested and used mouse pads on the market. It's your standard cloth surface with a rubber base, and it just works really well. There's a reason why it remains a popular choice even to this day, from pros to even just your average gamer. I think it's safe to say the QCK is here to stay, and it's a great budget choice if you're looking for a mouse pad. So that's gonna wrap up my favorite mouse pads for under $25 video. I hope you guys were able to find at least one mouse pad that you liked or at least enjoyed the video. Like I mentioned earlier, all the links will be down below in the description. If you enjoyed the video, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, since it really does help with the channel. And if you're new here, I make all types of content on gaming tech, so if you're interested in these types of videos, consider checking out the channel and subscribing. And if you want more content from me, I have a TikTok where I post tons of more content on more mouse pads, keyboards, mice, and a whole lot more. Like always, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.